Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Comic Book Nerd Nation. Today, on Comic Book Nerd Nation, we have Topher.
Hello, this is Topher on this good morning of Comic Book Nerd Nation. Welcome.
And we have the Pirate.
Sup, motherfuckers?
So as of recording date, as Fox would say, this is the last recording of 2016. Because today is Christmas Eve. I mean, New Year's Eve. Because I know my days.
And good fucking riddance, because
we have
2016 sucked.
No Fox 2, because he is sick of all our shit.
2016 claimed him.
We give no Fox.
We got no Fox to give.
We got no Fox given. Well, I am Fox 3 as of recording this, because we got
a half-ass Fox.
Yeah,
we have a half-ass Fox.
I'm not as jolly as Fox 2. Just semi. But yeah, so welcome to the last episode of 2017. I don't even know what the hell's going on. Yeah,
it's like for the last week of the year, you fucking say the wrong year. For the first month of the year, you write the wrong year. Like it's always the same.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm not stupid. That just happens. But yeah, a whole bunch of shit has happened since the last time recorded. We had the passing of Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher. It fucking totally blows.
That's right. Ugh.
I don't know about everybody else. I mean, a lot of people died this year, but this one seemed to like affect me the most and bummed me out completely.
Yeah, I mean, it sucked. There were a lot of deaths that sucked this year, but like none that I don't know. Like I almost feel bad saying that. Some deaths matter more than others. Not quite that, but like some of them affect you more. Like losing Prince and David Bowie sucked, but like I wasn't like a huge super fan, and I wasn't like waiting for them to make new music. Like
yeah.
Carrie Fisher, man, she's supposed to be in episode 9.
Yeah, she finished all her tapings.
You think they were gonna kill her off in 8 anyways?
I don't know.
I don't. The rumor was that she has a pretty. She has an increased role in episode 8, and that she was going to be back that they wanted her back for episode 9. So, I mean, if they were going to kill her, then they wanted her as a Force ghost or something, because she was going to be in 9.
I don't know. I figure it would be, a cool story if she dies too somehow.
Like just to totally get rid of all the old cast?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But
I mean, it would see like,
and then her mom, and then didn't her mom die?
Yeah, like 2 days later.
Day. No, it was like the next day.
That was totally weird.
Yeah,
that was unfortunate.
It was like, I mean, obviously Carrie Fisher had no spouse, but you know how like mostly in movies, like a person dies and then the other person dies of heartbreak, like the spouse. It's kind of like that, but like her mom, and it's just like,
well, her mom already had cancer. I think she was already ill.
Was she?
I didn't think so. She had a stroke.
Yeah,
I thought. Maybe you're right. I think it was. I thought she had some form of.
If she did, I didn't know about it. But what she died from, she had a stroke and then complications or something. And
maybe I misread it. Yeah.
But like what Chris was saying with like people who die and how some affect, it's like, all right, people die that you heard of, you're familiar with their work, but some of those people just like have a big part in your life. Like we loved Star Wars. So maybe more than like David Bowie's music or watching, what movie was it? Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like watching Labyrinth, like Star Wars was a big part of my life growing up, and today still. Like I have a bunch of Star Wars shit in my room. Like so those people affect you more because like it's like, oh shit, Princess Leia. Like even though she was in like, I can't remember anything else she was in besides Blues Brothers. I think she played
Yeah, she was a crazy ex-girlfriend of Blues Brothers.
yeah, she played what's his name? Not Dan Aykroyd.
John Belushi.
Yeah, John Belushi's crazy girlfriend toting around an M16.
On a rocket launcher, all that shit.
Yeah, but like it just sucks. Like
Jake in the wood.
Like it's just like all this shit going around because she had the heart attack on the plane 15 minutes away from LAX, and then you're like, oh shit, and then the report was she was doing better, and then like a day or two later, was it Christmas or Christmas Eve that she passed away?
It was Christmas Day, I think. I think it was Christmas Day. Yeah, it was brutal because like the thing I read said she had you know, like that I guess there was an EMT or somebody on the plane, and they were working on her for like the entire 15 minutes until they landed. So like it didn't sound good. And they said she was stable, but still, you know.
Were they telling us the truth?
Yeah,
Were they,
well, you know, like
I mean,
if you're you can be down for 15 minutes and then be stable, but just because, you know, like it's not necessarily a good stable. It means you're not about to slip away. But you know,
Yeah.
if she was, you know, if she was on life support there, you know, like I mean, I heard she was on a ventilator and everything. So yeah, it just shut up, cat. It's you know, it was just yeah, it was a shitty situation. But the thing is, she has a brother. You know, Debbie Reynolds has a son.
Bert?
You know, no.
no,
That'd
Todd
be
Reynolds.
awesome.
Yeah, Todd, and then Billy Lord, Carrie's daughter. You know, so Debbie's granddaughter and son are still there. So it kind of the whole, you know, like broken heart thing, dying. You know, the shortly thereafter, you know, your loved one passes away. Like it seemed odd because you know, she lost her daughter, but she still had her son. Like just imagine like her son, you know, like loses his sister and his mom in the space of a couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you just might as well have the both funerals at the same time. Like,
Oh, that's what they said. That's what all the news reports are saying, that they're gonna lay them to rest together.
yeah, like that's like, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause there's no sense in having two separate ones when they're like a day apart. Especially as busy
it
as
was-
LA is.
It was the day after Christmas because on Christmas, George Michaels died,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
and unfortunately for that, the first thing I thought when I saw it was fucking Deadpool. Wham!
Yeah.
Oh.
And Careless Whisperer.
The first thing I was thinking of, and I don't even know if they wrote it, but where he's like, "Last Christmas I gave you my heart, the very next day." Was that
Oh,
them
yeah.
who wrote that? And the whole time I was thinking, I was like, "Last Christmas, George Michaels was alive,"
Oh.
and it's just the first thing that popped in my head, and it's so shitty. It's so shitty. I'm sorry, but it's like literally like the first thing, and I was like, "Damn it!"
That's
Yeah, George
true.
Michael was unexpected.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yep, that was them.
Yeah. That
was Wham.
That's my girlfriend's favorite Christmas song too. That's like
Yeah.
her and her best friends, like that's their song.
Jimmy Eat World covered it amazingly, by the way. It's awesome.
They did? I haven't
Yeah,
heard that one.
yeah, it's like
I've heard the Savage
15
Garden.
years old.
There's the Savage Garden remake, and
I don't even know who Savage Garden is, but
really,
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
They're
you
like
do.
one-hit wonders from
they were
the
like
90s.
it was like a 2-hit wonder. Yeah, they were like mid '90s, like electronic pop. They
I
did that
definitely
Truly
thought
Madly
it was
Deeply
good.
song and the Chickateri Cola song.
oh,
I remember one of their
Johnny
videos because the
Chicken,
dude had
Cherry
like his
Cola.
guitar like posted on this like stand.
There's his guitar posted.
Now that I have that, the one, ooh, won't you?
Yeah, that
I
one.
know that I don't need. Yeah,
Yeah.
God damn it! Now that song's gonna be stuck in
Dying
my
to
head.
find out. But they
So
did
another
die.
thing on
They're still alive,
besides,
as far as I know.
let's get to another sad subject that I just want to bring up. that's been posted all over Facebook today as we're recording. Anybody see the Ronda Rousey fight?
Yes.
No. What
Oh,
happened?
minute of it,
She got beat in the face.
dude. Rested.
She
She's
go down
another victim
again?
of 2016. Yeah.
Oh.
Fast.
She.
Oh,
Amanda,
who's-
was it
there was,
Amanda
like, a
Nunez? That's who fought.
I mean,
She
this
fought?
was her first fight since
her last loss.
Holly Holm.
Yeah.
Holly Holmes. Yeah.
So I wanted to bring this up. I'm going to send you this in the messenger. That I'm bringing this up because they had an awesome meme. It was the cover for Pantera's Vulgar Display Power, and it is Ronda Rousey's face when she's getting knocked out.
Yes.
That I'm sending to you right now. But there was another good one. That is it's a perfect meme. But there's another one that says, you know, you suck when you know you need to retire when you last less of a that CM Punk lasted longer than you did.
Wow, that's
Oh.
wow.
Did you
Did
send
you
it?
just see it?
No, but there was like a long gap of silence there, and I felt it needed a wow to fill it
So
up.
on another note, Chris, you said before
Oh, there
that
it is. Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
that's pretty
Like,
good.
That's awesome. But Chris, you were saying before we started recording that you just finally watched Jessica Jones and Daredevil season 2.
I did finally watch those, and it's been way too long because Jessica Jones
John,
came out over a
You
year
saw
ago.
both of those, right?
Yeah, I've seen Jessica Jones.
All right. So
Did you guys
since-
ever talk about this?
I don't think so
yeah.
because Fox doesn't
Fox
watch
doesn't
them
watch
or
it.
enjoy them that much.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Then he's
I don't
doing
think
it
we ever
wrong.
did talk
I mean, I'm
about
doing it
but-
wrong too for not having watched them for a fucking year, but
Yeah, but at least you watched them,
I'm
enjoy
trying to
them.
make amends.
Fox is just like,
Yeah.
most of the time. It was all right.
Eh,
So let's talk. Since he's not here, let's effing talk about it because
fuck
both
yeah.
seasons were great, and I think Jessica Jones came out first, which I
Yeah.
thought was pretty good.
Yeah,
I
Jessica
thought
Jones came out like a year ago.
the
last
second
fall.
half of the season was awesome with all the Purple Man stuff and the how fucked up it was.
Yeah, I mean, having just watched it, it's still pretty fresh for me. There was a lot of stuff I liked about it. Overall, I thought the show was great. It was good. I thought Kristen Ritter did a great job as Jessica Jones. She doesn't necessarily completely look like the character does in the comics, but I thought she handled it really well. And they introduced Luke Cage, and I thought he was really good in it. I thought they did a good job of tackling a lot of things with that show. The way it really made me wonder how they were going to play it up, whether it was going to be about, him controlling her and making her do things, whether they were going to approach like the rape aspect of it, you got to
Yeah.
figure, that if they had a relationship for that long, that there was sex involved, and if it wasn't of her own consent, then clearly that plays a part. Were they going to mention that? Were they going to delve into it? And they did, and I thought they handled it really well. Like it wasn't cheesy. It wasn't glossed over. It wasn't it was given the gravity it deserves. It was treated with respect. Like I thought they tackled that subject about as well as you can do on TV. So there was a lot of stuff they got right, and I did have a few complaints. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as Daredevil because I just felt that the series kind of meandered at points. Like you never knew what the end goal was completely, because you have obviously it's to catch Purple Man, but like they had him like a few times and then lost him, and then had him and then lost him, and then had him and then lost him, and it was kind of like they did the same thing a few times, and at times it felt like it was starting to get a little old what they were trying to do, and it was like, are you going to pay off on it this time, or is this another tease? And so there were times where I felt like it didn't pay off the way you thought it was going to, and like they were stretching it out, and trying to come up with some filler in a couple places. And the worst of that filler was by far the whole story with Trish's boyfriend, Officer Simpson. Like it started out it started out good. I liked him. You know, they use him. Purple Man mind controls him, and you know, he tries to attack and kill her, and then he tries to make amends when he realizes what he's done, and he goes over there to talk to her, and you know, like everything was great. You know, they even start, you know, a relationship, and that seemed fine, and I liked all that, you know. But then when he starts talking about like the war buddies, and he starts getting all super macho and like, you know, and starts lying about stuff, like it wasn't clear why he was doing it or what was in it for him and what his motivation was, and it just seemed like it was like they were trying to take it somewhere and there was zero fucking payoff. Like, I can't tell you how many times I got so bored with that storyline. I'm like, oh my god, like, are we really on another scene of him? Like, do something with this or just fucking let it go. Like, if there's not a payoff for this storyline in the next 5 minutes, I'm just fucking done. Like, it was... I didn't care for it. Like, it didn't seem like it fit in that show. Clearly, it looks like they were setting up a possible villain for next season because that character, once he started talking about the pills that he was taking in red, white, and blue, like it rung a bell with me, and I realized that, you know, that's a character named Nuke from Marvel Comics. That's like this former soldier. He was in the Weapon Plus program, and they were trying to recreate like the super soldier serum that created Captain America, and you know, you get you get, you know, hyper combat awareness and all this stuff, but he basically becomes addicted and becomes a huge dick, and you know, like, you know, so I mean, it kind of followed his storyline a little bit, but I didn't like the way that they took a character that was sort of multidimensional and they made him so one-dimensional, and like he just came off as cheesy and cartoony, and he was too campy for that show. Like that's not the kind of character they have in their shows, and I didn't think it fit, and I was tired of it, and I was glad when they didn't show him anymore, and I thought they could have done without that. But overall, you know, the rest of the show I thought was really good, and I mean, David Tennant as Purple Man was fucking creepy as hell, and I liked that they showed all the violence that they did, and I mean, they didn't shy away from doing the stuff that, you know, I mean, like, a guy with that kind of power, you know, a lot of times it sort of gets washed over in the comics, you know, because there's a lot of stuff that they don't mention, but you got to figure, like, a guy with that much power, what is all the fucked up shit he would do? And this guy actually did it, and you know, when he didn't do more, you know, like, they had reasons for it. You know, he was obsessed with Jessica. He was trying to, you know, he was trying to make contact with emotions at some point, and a couple times they almost bordered on playing him a little too sympathetically, I thought, when they start talking about his parents and and whatnot, and it they flirted a little bit with trying to make him a sympathetic character, and at times it almost got a little too forgiving of a horrible monster, but then, you know, they showed that she wasn't having his bullshit, and she, you know, wasn't buying it for a second, and always knew he was that. So it I thought they played it really well.
Yeah, with that new character, I feel like, you know, the way he is in the comics, I feel like he would be like one of those very side characters, like Crossbone was in like a Captain America, maybe even like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
And it just it didn't need to be there. We didn't need a more complicated story with Patsy Walker in a Jessica Jones season, and just having him be like a mini boss for Jessica Jones. I think that whole part could have been either toned down a lot or either just not in there.
I did like Patsy Walker, though. I thought her addition in that show was really good.
Yeah, a little throwback to the comic books, even though she wasn't anywhere close to Hellcat. She just had like self-defense skills.
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't she end up taking a pill?
At one point, she took a couple of the reds, and then because she didn't have the blues or whatever to come down, and she had to call an ambulance and everything. But she threw the one dude through the fucking wall when he came after them in the bathroom, and they were holed up in there, and she popped a red pill and went to town. It was Yeah, because she's like, holy crap, is this what you feel like all the time? This is awesome. And then she collapsed on the floor. But
And the addition with Luke Cage was good.
I liked how they made him. He was a solid character in that. He had some depth. He had a purpose in the story, but his presence didn't overshadow it at all.
No.
And it felt, it felt organic the way he was included, and like the story didn't rely on him to come save the day at any point, or it wasn't like a team up. It was clear that he was just a supporting character in the Jessica Jones show, rather than felt like they were setting him up for his own thing.
Yeah, and superhero sex and shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of that.
They were like, weren't they like breaking walls?
Yeah, like pounding the wall. They broke the bed at some point. It was impressive.
And then we have Daredevil season 2, which I loved. I thought that was amazing.
Daredevil season 2, yeah, that was. I thought it was probably the best season of superhero TV ever. I mean, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I think John Bernthal, or however you pronounce it, was awesome as Daredevil. Daredevil.
I thought it was Tom.
Punisher.
No, John Bernthal.
What did I say?
John Bernthal.
You said Jason,
You said
I think, or
Bernthal.
something. I don't know.
No, he said John.
It's John
I thought it was
Bernthal.
Tom for some reason.
No, it's John Bernthal.
Shane.
He was Shane from Walking Dead. Yeah.
He was also Al Capone, or was it Al Capone? No, it was one of the guys.
One of the gangsters.
One of the gangsters in Night at the Museum, and he was in Band of Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh,
was it Band of Brothers or Saving Private Ryan?
Fuck, I can't remember.
No, it wasn't either. It was Fury.
Yeah, it was Fury. You're right.
He was in Fury.
I thought he was in another war movie before.
He
Fury,
probably
Fury,
was.
though. Hold on, I'm fact checking this.
But him as Punisher was amazing.
Oh, he was.
I
good.
thought that was the best Punisher besides
I thought Thomas Jane made a decent Punisher.
It was alright,
honestly.
but
I thought they all had elements of Punisher that no one's gotten
Yeah.
across the board yet. Like you had Dolph Lundgren, who had the crazy side where he like talked to himself and tried to talk to God
And
and
then
never answered.
sat on a bath naked at the end
Yeah,
of the
he
movie.
was like in a sewer sauna.
Which
And then you had
which one was that? I don't think
That
I
was
ever
the
saw that
first
movie.
one.
That was in the
Yeah.
80s.
Oh, I don't think I ever saw that
That-
one.
Weirdly enough, that was the one that came out like 3 years after the book, like his own comic had been released. So it was like
Mm-hmm.
it was really weird. It's like, hey, there's this comic about this dude shooting the place up. We could make an action movie out of that. It was totally 80s.
Right.
And then there was, obviously the Thomas Jane version, and then there was the Ray Stevenson version. But the Ray Stevenson version got the fucking villains though, and it got like the older, more like been doing it a while. Like they hit that part, but it just for
Mhm.
whatever reason it just was horrible. Like they even had all the Punisher Max. They had some of the Punisher Max villains and shit. They kind of messed them around, like turned the one dude into like a parkour fucking gang. It was kind of weird.
It was just Fury that he was in. He wasn't in any war movie, unless it's not showing all of his movies. But
he was in though.
The thing I don't like about all the other Punishers was like, the Ray Stevenson one, he really had no character besides just wanting to slaughter everybody. The Thomas Jane was a little light-hearted Punisher with the love story and shit like that. And
Yeah.
Dolph
And
Lundgren one, I just don't remember. I don't even think they called him the Punisher in that. I think.
Oh,
he was-
absolutely, they
right.
did. They called
Did
him
they?
the Punisher. Yeah. He even had the skull with the knives and stuff.
I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a while, but this movie, maybe I'll go on Cody and watch it when I'm cleaning. But him as the Punisher. I mean, his little one patch quote felt a little out of place, but not much for me to bother me. But
His one patch quote.
yeah, one patch, two patch.
Penny
Oh,
and
yeah.
Dime,
Dime.
the nursery
The best
rhyme
thing-
from the
The
book.
best thing he said though, to out of all that, he's like, "You're just one bad day from being me."
Yeah.
You know,
That was the fucking line that made it for me with him. I was like,
I
Like that
like-
whole
that's
scene
so
when he's chained
true.
up is like right out of the comics, and that was like one of the best scenes besides the jail when he just beats the shit out of all those people.
Plus, I
I
didn't
liked
make
that
him drink
line.
piss.
I liked that, right? I liked that line, but I almost had a problem with it because that's a line like right out of Killing Joke. You know, like that's
I didn't think about that, but you're right. Yeah, it
you know
is.
that's how Joker and Batman talk to each other a lot. And so like it was almost like they were stealing a little bit from the other side there on that one. That dynamic they were playing there. But no, I thought Bernthal did an amazing job as Punisher. I thought that whole show was just so freaking good. Like
Yeah.
the first, like the entire season, the pacing of it, I felt was just so much better than like Jessica Jones was, because the pacing of it, you've got
The Pacific. That was the war movie. It wasn't Band of Brothers. It was the Pacific. It was
Oh,
about
that TV
the
show?
HBO. It was an HBO show like Band of Brothers, but it was about the Marines instead of the Army.
Yeah, but
That's-
it was also in the Pacific Theater, the Japanese.
Hence
and
the
shit.
fucking name.
Oh
oh,
shit!
I
I'm
didn't
just
make that
explaining for everybody
connection.
out there. They didn't think they were vacationing.
I was
Asshole.
okay.
Yeah,
What
because
was
there
the
were so
one?
many Marines in the fucking in Eastern Front.
What was the one in the Atlantic?
That was the Atlantic.
That was
Oh, okay,
Aquaman.
okay.
Except he has
Anyway.
Polynesian
yeah.
tattoos.
Yeah,
And I
Go
was
figure.
the,
and I liked I don't know the chick's name, but I liked her representation of Elektra.
oh yeah, Elodie
Boogie Woogie Woogie.
Elodie Young or something like that. I
She
think was her name.
played. Oh, who did she play? She played Jinx in the second G.I. Joe movie.
Did she? Okay,
Yeah.
she looked vaguely familiar, but not enough.
Because we watched that piece of shit.
I mean, I watched the first one. I don't know if I saw the other ones.
There's only one other G.I. Joe movie. That's
No, there's only one G.I. Joe movie, and it's
yes,
called
but
G.I.
live
Joe the
action movie.
But yeah,
Oh.
the pacing on this one was so good. Like the first 4 episodes, like I didn't realize that we were only 4 episodes in when we were watching it, because it was like, oh my god, that was only 4 episodes, because you had the whole Punisher thing all the way up until he gets arrested, and like that felt like a series high point, and then they go right into the Elektra stuff, and it just kept going like the whole time. Like it never felt dull. It never felt like they were ran out, well, this storyline ran out, what else are we gonna do, kind of thing. Like the whole thing just felt like it was plotted with purpose from the beginning, and I mean
Wait, was season 2 the one where him and Stick beat the fuck out of each other? Or was that-
Yeah.
Or was that season 1?
both, I think.
Yeah, I think he beat the fuck out of him and threw him out of his apartment.
Okay. I couldn't remember because there was one where I was just like, it always blurs when Stick shows up.
Yeah. But when they introduced the hand, oh my god, they just they had so many elements from the comics, in that season, and they did them so well. Like it looked so realistic, and yet it felt so much like the comics at the same time. And the way they were able to blur that line and do, make it good, TV and and comic worthy. Oh man, I was really impressed by that season.
Now, from the ending, do you think that whole resurrection bell and them taking Elektra, do you think that's going to go to the Defenders?
I mean, there's going to be a season 3 of Daredevil.
Well, there is a season 3.
Yeah, but
But
they're doing Defenders first, though, right?
Yeah.
Are they?
See-
I don't know which one comes
Yeah.
first.
They're not doing this
My
year. We're
theory
not getting
is-
Daredevil at all.
My theory is they're going to resurrect Elektra. She's going to lead the hand in the comics, and it's going to be a more dangerous force, and that's how they're going to get together.
That would
But
make
for
sense.
Daredevil season 3, for season 2, we saw it kind of in jail, we saw Kingpin kind of like building himself to be that superior Kingpin character from the comics. Season 3 of Daredevil, I feel like that's going to take shape, and that's going to be the big.
So are we only getting? Wait, this year is it only going to be Defenders, Punisher?
No, we got Iron Fist
And Iron
first.
Fist.
Or Iron Fist. I forgot about him. Yeah,
Iron Fist, then Defenders, then Punisher.
and then
Yeah,
that's
because
it
they
for
already
2017.
But does Punisher get his own series?
Yeah,
You didn't know that?
that was announced that.
Oh, dude, I didn't
Yeah.
fucking know that.
Fuck.
Oh man.
So do you think the first season of The Punisher is going to involve the Trust?
I don't know what it could involve.
I don't
Because he-
honestly know
he
a
kinda-
whole lot about.
Are we gonna get a good Jigsaw?
No. Well, Jigsaw was that whole thing with the Trust. Did you ever read the first miniseries by Stephen? Was it Stephen Grant?
Was it a Max miniseries or was it the regular
No,
Marvel
it was like
miniseries?
the first Punisher Volume 1. Like it was like 6 comics.
I don't think so.
Or maybe not even 6. It might have been 5. I think it was initially. Yeah, I think it was 5. So like it's basically like he's in prison, and he's offered to get out of. He's like in prison, beating the fuck out of everybody, and they offer to get him out of prison if he works for this company called the Trust. And the Trust basically is like these rich elitists that want him to basically do their work. Well, it finds out because in the original first 5 series of The Punisher, Jigsaw was another prison inmate. And then, like, come to find out these prison inmates actually work for the Trust, and it's kind of like this big setup. And, you know, Jigsaw wasn't like this mafioso Kingpin type character that he was like in the later comics. But, and then he ends up just fucking wrecking all them, and then that's how he gets out of jail. And, well, they let him out of prison because he's in prison for the shit that happened in the Spider-Man comics. So, like,
I mean, I don't think they're gonna put him back into jail again because they already did that with
well, but they don't have to have him in jail. I'm just saying, like, you know, like these rich elitists, if they're gonna hire him to do work, and then it's gonna go up, and he's gonna finally just kill them.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We have no idea. I haven't heard much about what's been seen on set and who's in it. Could be Bushwhacker. Didn't he have a fucking rocket launcher for a hand?
I don't know. I wonder if it's got anything. Punisher TV series. Let's see. Well, I have it up.
But on that note, I just remembered something I read during the week. That ABC and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has canceled the Ghost Rider ever being in the TV show again because they ran out of money for a CGI.
That's funny. I started watching that season. I'm only like a few episodes in. I
watched some of it. Yeah, it wasn't that bad this season, and I liked how they did the Ghost Rider. But for them to like hype it up with such a good like season, and you know, have him in it,
it's
kind of like
great.
I mean, it was just like fucking. Why even do that? Now what are they gonna do with the Ghost Rider?
Last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was really good.
I didn't watch it. But like, what are they gonna do with the Ghost Rider? Are they gonna put that dude in something else? Are they gonna put what's his name, Johnny Blaze in something? Are they gonna do Danny Ketch? Because did you get up to the part where how he got his powers?
No.
Well, he got into a car accident and a Ghost Rider came and, you know, saved him, brought him back to life. And from that point on, he became another Ghost Rider. So we know there's 2 from that. So, like, for them to do that, it's just like hey, we ran out of money, fuck this shit. That's why I always thought it would be a better show across the board if it was on a different channel.
I was really surprised when they, announced him, because I'm like, that's not a character you can do cheaply, you know?
Yeah, especially it being like a car and stuff like that.
One thing I just realized,
easier than a motorcycle, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
One thing I just realized is that Fox is going to yell at me next week because I haven't been doing anything to control the camera, and I just realized that, like I've been
been
this
on your
tiny
face
little
all the time?
image. No, it's been switching back and forth between the two of you, and so the whole time I was talking, we were probably staring at like, at pirate,
Something.
picking at his face or staring off into space or Brian tilting his headphones back and forth.
Well, that's what happens when you're sick. He's not here to control
Yeah,
the situation.
exactly.
That's what he got. Stupid fuck. He got bullshit chitis.
He got what?
Bullshit-itis? Bronchitis, but it's from bullshit, not your
Right.
lungs.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, shit happens.
If he has anything like what I've had since I've been on vacation, he's sick.
You're just a piece of shit.
It's a little harsh.
Is he wrong though?
New year to change that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. For them to lose a big hype like Ghost Rider because they ran out of money for his CGI, it's fucking. That's the fuck.
I don't know how they didn't see that coming, because you figure they've got to budget these things. You've got to kind of know, how many shows there are going to be in the season. You've hopefully written out, a few of them ahead of time and figured out, kind of how the season's going to plot out. So you should have an idea of how many he's going to be in. I mean, I guess if it starts taking more money to do each show than you thought it was going to, maybe, but
I mean, that and like now they have another show coming out based on that character Yo-Yo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
I know that.
their side, whatever you want to call it, spin-off based on that fucking speedster chick Yo-Yo.
When does that start? Or did it
I have
already?
no idea. No, it didn't yet. Probably sometime next year. Probably or after the season ends.
I have a hard time believing that. Like, excuse me, I like that character and all, but I didn't think
for her
that
to carry her own show.
Yeah, well, I didn't think. I mean, is it going to be on ABC? I didn't think that Agents of Shield was really, like some huge powerhouse that it can spawn off, spin-offs, that are gonna be able to carry network ratings the way they would want it to. Like, I don't know. I can't see that carrying an entire show on a major network. That seems implausible.
Yeah. I mean,
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
well, it's supposed to be a show starring fucking Mockingbird and somebody else, but then they ditched that idea.
Mm.
I'm trying to look for it.
Bird.
Mockingbird, they don't sing.
Right. I have no idea what you guys are saying.
You don't know what we're singing? It's from
Dumb and Dumber.
yeah.
Oh god, I hate that fucking movie. That's why.
What?
It's awful.
What?
It's terrible. It's so dumb. It's supposed to be so dumb it's funny. Instead, it's just so dumb that it's dumb.
Oh, never mind. It's a digital series called Slingshot.
Oh, that makes
featuring
more
Yo-Yo.
sense. Did you guys ever watch the digital series they did with for Arrow with the
Vixen?
Tigra, not Tigra, Tigress, I don't know, the feline woman.
Vixen?
Vixen.
Is that what
It was called Vixen.
Oh, okay, whatever. I'm getting her confused with Tiger from Marvel.
Yeah, you would. You would.
I mean, they're the same fucking character.
No, I never watched it. I don't. I'm like hit or miss with that, the Flaroverse or whatever they call it.
I haven't watched any of this season yet.
I haven't watched this season of Flash or Arrow or Legends of the Universe. Or
Well,
Legends of
there's
Tomorrow.
so much now. Like you
Legends
got
of the Universe.
Legends of the Universe. You got Flash. You got Arrow. You got Legends of Tomorrow. You got Supergirl now. I feel like there's another one. That's like 4 hours a week just on those. Like that's so much. It's hard. It's getting hard to keep up with. Like I know I was clamoring for more superhero shows, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome that they're doing superhero shows. Like I want more. Like all the shows should be superhero shows. But no, like ain't nobody got time for that. Damn. Speaking of which, Legion starts in February, I think. Legion
Yeah, did you see that new poster? It looks like it got ripped off from the comic book cover with his like all the colors coming out of his brain.
I know that cover. I know the issue you're talking about, but no, I haven't seen the poster.
I still don't like that he doesn't have his eraser top haircut.
I know, like you gotta have the hair. Like that was such an iconic.
That's like giving Professor X a mohawk.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Inconceivable.
it's blasphemy.
I hope Legion's good. I really hope Legion's good. I want it to be good.
Yeah,
But knowing, I don't know, if Fox is making it, and
yeah, I'm worried about it.
I think it might be a decent show. I think they're just gonna try and not make it very comic-like, you know.
Yeah, it looks like a drama more.
Yeah, they're gonna try and do something with the show, and like it will probably be a decent concept for a TV show. It will just not feel like comics at all, and will probably. It's gonna be another one of their ways where they, try and take a comic book property and like try and make it realistic and all this stuff. And I think we've learned from Daredevil at this point that you can do that and still be like the comics, but I don't think Fox ever learns.
No, he doesn't. That's why he's sticking out on the show.
Oh.
Shout out to Fox.
Pour one out for our missing homie.
Pour one out for our sick homie. But yeah.
What else we got?
I don't know. It is bullshit. Nothing.
Yeah. Kind
no
of
movies.
Straws this week.
We talked about the biggest movie at the end of the year.
Movie? What?
Biggest movie. We talked about Rogue One last week.
Yeah.
Oh, Rogue One. Yeah. I still haven't seen it a second time. Have you guys watched it a second time?
I still didn't think it was
I
the
have
second
not
time.
seen it a second time.
Any new thoughts after the second viewing?
No, I saw it the second time before we
talked about it the first time.
Yeah.
I was watching something. It was a YouTube video that some other channel did, talking about ways that Rogue One changed how you view Episode 4, and I haven't watched Episode 4 since I saw Rogue One. I really should, but like just thinking about some of the ways it ties in, and like I think I like it even better now, that I've seen, that I've had time to think about, how it actually makes Episode 4 better. And that's a rare thing when, a prequel or sequel or anything, another movie made way after the fact, can actually make, the original somehow seem even better.
Yeah, I mean, like, also just how it ties in, like, the cartoons, too.
I still haven't watched those.
You gotta watch Rebels is awesome.
I watched Clone Wars. I watched, like, 3 seasons of Clone Wars, and then I got really turned off by how they fucking, did the Mandalorians and screwed up some stuff, because I was reading books at the time, and there was a Republic Commando series that I absolutely loved that Karen Traviss was writing, and they screwed with the Mandalorians, and that messed up her plot, and they told her she couldn't write that book the way she wanted it to anymore, and they were like, we'll do this. She's like, no, that's not my story, fuck you, I quit. And the series I was reading never got a proper ending, and pissed me off, and I stopped watching Clone Wars, and so without having finished Clone Wars, I still haven't jumped into Rebels. But
Yeah, I mean,
I
but
was trying to
Rebels,
decide whether to binge watch that or catch up on the Marvel Netflix stuff over Christmas break, and I chose Marvel Netflix first.
yeah, that's a better choice, even though Rebels is awesome. But like very in the background tied in like Rebels.
Yeah, I mean,
And it was awesome.
I caught some of the references. Like I was aware that they were references, even though I don't really know the characters
Yeah.
or anything. But
And the director came out and be like, "Yep, you saw what you saw," and that's right. Because they had Chopper, the like, I don't know what kind of droid he is, but he's like almost an astromech, kind of. They announced one of the pilot Hera over the loudspeaker, but as a general,
General Syndulla.
yeah. And then
They
you
showed
see
her ship too.
yeah, you see it twice. You see it 3 times. One of the shots, they're above Yavin 4. They showed a like an overview shot of all the X-wings and shit outside, and you see it off into the corner. You see it twice during the battle over Scarab. The only thing I have to worry about that is like, okay, you know, the cartoon takes place before way before New Hope, like kind of like a few years after Revenge.
Right.
This takes place like 5 minutes before New Hope, ends 5 minutes before New Hope.
Right.
Like, what can they possibly do to end the season to tie it into them popping up at the movie? Are they gonna like are they gonna end it like right before the Battle of Scarif? Did they die? Did they go into Scarif and we didn't just see the ship on Scarif and they end up getting destroyed? It's just like,
that's an interesting question because like when we were talking about Rogue One, one of the things I said that I really appreciated about that movie was that they had the balls to kill everybody that you wouldn't be seeing in Episode 4.
yeah,
Like you don't see Jin or Cassian or Baze or Chirrut or any of these people that went down
Blue
to
Squadron.
Scarif, Blue Squadron. They all fucking died, every last one of them, and that's why they're not there. And that made sense, But if you've got characters from the cartoon showing up, so was that an actual plot inclusion, or was that an Easter egg? Was it supposed to be like a nod to people who watched the cartoon? I mean, because at this point, there's a lot of people watching that cartoon, and a lot of people are paying attention, and a lot of people know that stuff's all canon now, and I don't think that was really all that subtle. You can't make that mention as just an offhanded reference and have it be an Easter egg for people who were like reading the books kind of thing. That basically establishes that character's still alive and participating in the rebellion at that point in time. So where the hell is she come Episode 4?
I know. And especially that they have 2 Jedi on their little team. Like, where are they? Why weren't they doing more in that movie?
Well, perhaps there's still that show's still being made, and there's still the canon, the Last Padawan comic series, and that Marvel's doing. Are they still doing that one?
No, I think that was limited run.
Okay.
But that was most of that, except for a couple of issues, were all like his past, him getting to the point to where we see him in the cartoon. So that
they'll cover it. Maybe there'll be a book that covers it. I'm sure they're just going to keep making Rebels the cartoon as long as they can get away with it, and it'll still be the younger days. And then if they ever need to explain it, I'm sure somebody will probably write that book.
Yeah, now that they're coming out, like now that they retcon Thrawn, like Timothy Zahn's what was it called?
Heir to the Empire.
Yeah, now that they retcon that, put him in Rebels between episodes 3 and 4, and I think sometime in early 2017 is a book being released based on Thrawn by Timothy Zahn, whatever, however you pronounce his name. So it's going to give him a little bit, it's going to like bring him back into the fold and just, I guess, change everything that we knew about him.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about Timothy Zahn writing another Thrawn book.
If anything, like, I'm glad they gave him, like, it's your character, you created him, take it. This is where he's like based off of. This is where we want him in the canon. I mean, hopefully, I'm sure the book's going to be good, but hopefully it does his original trilogy justice.
I mean, Heir to the Empire changed everything for Star Wars. I mean, it was huge. Like, there was like no Star Wars stuff, outside of like some toys and things.
I think Marvel had the comics and shit
for most of the 80s. I mean, I think the comics had ended, at that point. Like, they were long over. Heir to the Empire came out in 1991, and that was like the first new Star Wars thing in ages. Like, the entire expanded universe like blossomed out of that. All the other shows, like, I mean, the books, the Dark Horse comics, like everything else that came, the Clone Wars cartoon, like everything sort of, well, I guess the Clone Wars cartoon still, was because of the movies and whatnot. But I mean, you had such renewed interest in Star Wars. It wasn't as much in the public eye, before that book was written. Before that book came out, it was just, it was a great movie series, it was a great franchise, and there were still toys of it here and there, but it was something in the past. That book kind of made Star Wars a continuing, ongoing thing, rather than just, an event that happened in the past that people look back on. And that was a great view of Brian's hat while I was talking again. I'm really terrible at this.
I've been making sure John's still breathing on mine.
Yeah, I'm still here.
It's just perfectly still.
What do you think? What do you think, Pirate?
About what?
About anything.
I think that I'm just thinking about I put this new pickup in my guitar, and Chris, you're into electronics and stuff. You might have an idea. But I put this new pickup in my guitar, and my low end is just like sucked out of it. And it's not the pickup.
What kind of pickup?
It's a Seymour Duncan Black Winter. And I replaced the Screaming Demon out of it.
Humbucker or single coil?
Humbucker.
Bridge or neck?
Bridge.
I mean, you're not gonna get a whole lot of low end at the bridge, though.
Well, I know that, but it's like volume wise. Like volume wise is completely different. Like I'll switch to my neck, and it's just like just like fucking so like loud. And I don't know if my potentiometer's bad or
just say you got it wired in correctly. Does it have separate volume knobs?
Yeah, it's a Les Paul, so it has its own. It's independent. Volume, tone. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd check your volume knob. Maybe you got. Do you have to do any kind of impedance matching with the pickup to the
no
the volume knob? No. Okay.
It's a 500K pot. I don't know. That's what's on my mind right now. I was just thinking about that.
I got you on my mind.
So yeah, back to comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we really got anything else on comic books.
I think we're gonna leave everybody with that.
I think we're kind of done.
If anybody has any idea on the pickup thing, please leave me in the comments. I'd really love to figure this out.
Hashtag John needs to be picked up.
I don't know if it could be. I don't know. Is that a capacitor or a resistor?
The potentiometer.
that's connected to potentiometers in guitars. I can't
Well,
remember.
a
I've never
potentiometer.
replaced all the wiring system.
Camouflage.
A potentiometer is basically just a variable resistor.
Yeah, but they also have like little, the little like it looks like they, the ibuprofens with the wires coming out of them. They look like a little like pill, and then they have the leads
Oh,
that come in.
yeah, that's
Like,
a capacitor. Probably
That's what I thought.
an electrolytic
Yeah.
capacitor. I haven't really pulled my guitars apart and looked at them. I like playing them more than I
What
like
kind of
working.
electrical engineer are you?
Nah, that sounds like work. Nobody's paying me to do that, so I don't look at
Oh,
them.
there's the
Mhm.
electrical engineer coming out.
Yeah.
What? I'm not.
Am I on the
90,000 a year to
am I on the
work
clock
on this
right
guitar?
now? Then no, I'm not working on that.
Are you sure it's not the mass compactor?
It's like
It's.
It's the hyperdrive on the
I
fritz?
think it's the fudge. I think it's the fudge compactor.
I was just having that conversation yesterday with a friend of mine because he was talking about how he's been trying to do like his beer like home brewing kit and stuff and he's like, man, he's like, I spent like a ton of money on this stuff and I feel like it's still just like it's not as good as like like it's so easy to ruin and it's hard, like it's a lot of work to do this and like I'm starting to wonder if the payoff's worth it. I'm like, dude, I like drinking beer. I don't like making beer. Like I'll leave that to people who are better at it than me. Like, same thing with cars. I like driving cars. I don't like working on cars. People ask me, "Oh, what have you done to your car?" Nothing. It's stock because I would rather buy it and drive it than sit there and work on it. Like, I drink beer. I don't make it. I drive cars. I don't make them. I play guitars. I don't work on them. Like, fuck it. That's for somebody else.
Wow. Way to be dependent on the system.
Yeah. Or maybe he's not dependent on the system. Maybe he's saying,
the
fuck the
system is dependent on him.
Maybe the system is down.
The system is down.
Is down.
Do
A Homestar Runner. Dang it,
Yeah,
Cheetah,
on that
how
note-
many times I have to tell you, no light switch rave shows.
The cheat is grounded.
On that note, I think we're done for today.
Ah,
Time to go back to bed.
Say
Yeah.
Doug can go back to bed?
What?
Did you say Doug can go back to
Oh,
bed?
it's you.
he's probably already in bed.
Yeah, he's probably like, oh, I'm sick. Blah, 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 blah.
Apparently yours if you're sick too. If you catch it.
I
Yeah.
don't know. No, I've been sick. I've been on vacation since the 22nd, and I've been sick since the 20th. It's ridiculous.
Good times.
Yeah. Way to go into 2017.
Right? 2016 was a bad year enough. Let's fucking. Why not? It kills me on the way out. See, look, my voice is giving out.
Too much.
So
deep
that's
throat.
all we have for today. Thank you for joining us. It's our biggest bullshit episode of this year. We've got a pirate.
I hope you all live for the next 12 hours and make it to 2017. At the rate 2016's been going, you may die. Remember that.
We got Topher.
Yep. Good riddance. 2016.
Actually, they would already, if they're listening to this, they already made it through 2016. So
Yeah, because they're not.
Yeah,
Gonna,
that's true.
They're not going to watch this until what?
the 4th.
The 4th. Yeah. So
May the 4th.
if
be
you're
with
watching
you.
this, congratulations.
And- Peace out.
Later.